Have you seen the stunning evening skies lately? You know, when Venus and Jupiter come together in the evening, there is almost nothing quite as celestially beautiful as that combination. And it means good things for us this week as well. Capricorn friends, your relationships are the big story this week. Venus and Jupiter are coming together by conjunction here in your 7th house, and they're bringing grace, generosity, and real possibility to your partnerships, both romantic and professional. So let's find out some more. This is a video forecast for your sun, moon, or rising sign, and you can check out all three here at Guiding Star Astrology YouTube channel. They're going to tell you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. I'm Kesenya, and welcome to the Astro News and Weather Report for the second week of June 2026. Love or falling in love all over again with our partner, as the case may be depending on your circumstances, or it can also represent an expansion of your desires. It's all for our blessing this week, and aren't we ready for it? Let's take a bit of a deeper look at this combination of energies. Why this occurring in Cancer makes this an extra special conjunction, because the sign matters enormously this time around. Jupiter is only in Cancer every 12 years, and he's in his exaltation sign when he's there. So this is considered to be one of the most genuinely abundant Venus-Jupiter meetings in years. And we all know in astrological tradition, when there's a planet in its exaltation sign, it's said to perform at its very best and to even uplift the other planets around it. So Jupiter's in his sign of exaltation. It's going to bring out the finest qualities of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter in Cancer is creative, intuitive, generous, abundant, and very protective and supportive. Jupiter is actually the great protector of the solar system. Quite literally in astronomy, he sucks all the asteroids and debris in the outer solar system into his magnetosphere, which is enormous, and gobbles it all up, so we don't suffer from too much celestial debris in the inner solar system where we reside here on Earth. So thanks be to Jupiter for his protective qualities. Hence, I believe there's an association between Jupiter and Cancer. Perhaps that's the reason why he's exalted there. There is an association with protectiveness. Jupiter, the great protector of the inner solar system. Cancer, the great mother protective energy of that sign. Now, Venus in Cancer, what's that all about? Venus, when she's in Cancer, favors emotional safety over excitement, depth over flirtation, and home-centered intimacy over public displays of her usual romance. So it's a good time to deepen existing relationships under this transit, and any new relationships that abound are out of Venus-Jupiter conjunction. And Venus-Jupiter conjunction was one of the reasons my husband and I got together. You need to have looked at our astrology for that, and I do have a video all about our astrological meeting available in the Patreon family. But any new connections that form with Venus conjunct with Jupiter will feel sort of familiar very quickly, like you've known this person longer than you actually have. You've seen them somewhere before, or met them somewhere before, and maybe you existed together in another lifetime. You know what? This is actually the second Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the sign of Cancer. The first one occurred back in August 2025, and as Jupiter prepares to leave Cancer for another 12 years, he won't be back in his exaltation for 12 years, more's the pity. This conjunction carries an energy with it of fruiting and fulfillment. So we've had the first conjunction in August 2025. This is the second and the last conjunction for another 12 years. So we have to stop and think, what was going on in our lives last August? And how are those themes somehow repeating or culminating or reaching their fruition for us now? If you keep a diary, which is so handy when you're studying astrology, if you keep a diary, you can refer back and see what was prominent in your life at that time. But in plain terms, this conjunction is the moment that blesses the heart, the home, family bonds, and emotional intimacy in a really big way. The two benefics uniting in the sign of Cancer. I'll tell you a little bit about the mythologies of these two planets. Most of us do know the stories of Zeus or Jupiter from Greek mythology, but did you know that in Latin, Jupiter is called Jove, and it's the root word for jovial, happiness, joy. And so Jupiter has always been associated with joy, but also good fortune and good company. His sacred bird was the eagle. And so oftentimes if you see an eagle in some important way in your life, if an eagle shows up, it's an omen from Zeus or an omen from Jupiter. It has Jupiter energy. The oak tree was also sacred to Jupiter as well. In fact, priests at his temple in Dodona would divine the future by listening to the wind moving through the sacred grove of oaks at that temple. I have to share with you just because it gives me joy. My husband and I got married in an oak forest when we got married, and it was truly a very special, spiritual, beautiful time. We actually saw eagle omens on that day, which I just thought was glorious. Now, Venus mythology, or otherwise known as Aphrodite, she was born from the sea foam. There's a bit of a background story to that, but I won't go into that here. She's the goddess of love. She's the goddess of beauty and desire. Arguably, she's the most mythologically magnetic figure in the ancient Parthenon. Everybody loves the story of the beautiful Venus. But ancient sources noted that in certain cults, Jupiter was actually worshipped in close association with Venus. They were kind of 2 for 1 in many ways, reflecting this long-standing mythological pairing of two benefic divine forces. So here they are meeting in Cancer, almost at the projected degree of fixed star Procyon. Now they're meeting at 25 degrees. Procyon's projected degree is 26 degrees of Cancer. And this carries its own meanings. Whenever we see Venus crossing the projected degree of Procyon on the ecliptic, we can see in our environment, or if we're born with this placement, we might see a lot of it in our lives generally, that we get a lot of benefits from influential friends. They back us up, they support us, they put their money where their mouth is. Our friends come to our aid. It's also, Venus with Procyon is very favorable for gain. And we may see this around the 9th or 10th of June. You might be more prone to be able to receive gains and benefits. It's also time to receive favors and benefits from friends and acquaintances, and time for you to leave your mark on the world around the 9th or 10th in some way. Now, some people will see more success in their lives if they are working in fields to do with religious affairs or sports or politics. In fact, a lot of politicians do have Procyon prominent in their chart, for better or for worse. But this conjunction is a good one for financial gain when Venus is there. Now, when Jupiter is in a conjunction with Procyon, it can give us an inclination to travel. We might have many journeys. We might go on a big long trip. We can also see when Jupiter is here that sometimes it triggers some troubles from our relatives, or troubles from the church, or trouble with the law. So do keep that in mind. But despite all these potential troubles with Jupiter here, we also get help from friends when Jupiter is with Procyon. They come to our rescue once again. It's time when Jupiter transits across Procyon to embrace your own determination. And if you are a mature person, Jupiter with Procyon can bring about the manifestation of profit and success. People who are less high vibrational might find themselves entangled in some sort of legal upheavals. So my prayer for everybody is that they're going for the high vibe energy and receiving the benefits of the divine. Capricorn, here in your 7th house, we are seeing this magnificent conjunction in the night sky of Venus and Jupiter. Your relationships, as I said, are the headline story this week, Capricorn. And here in the 7th house, Venus and Jupiter are writing it in the most generous terms possible. This is one of the finest transits you can experience in the zodiac for love, both falling into it and the deepening of what already exists in your life. So perfect for relationships of all sorts. Your natural steadiness and your natural integrity make you profoundly attractive right now, Capricorn. How lovely is that? And the right people are seeing you with remarkable clarity. They're seeing your true nature and how beautiful it is. Now, this means that business partnerships and professional relationships are equally blessed. I know you'll be happy to hear that, Capricorn. Collaborations begun this week in a professional sense will carry real long-term promise for success. For those who are navigating any issues regarding negotiation or legal matters or contracts, well, this week's cosmic weather is genuinely in your favor, helping you to reach win-win situations and conclusions. Allow yourself to lean into collaboration, lean into partnership this week, because the universe is going to meet you there with open arms, my beautiful Capricorn friends. Now, for those who like their astrology to go a little deeper, let's take a look at the house lord placements. Venus rules the 5th and the 10th house, bringing benefit to the 7th house. So there is a lot of blessing here for Capricorn's career, their recognition in the world, their reputation. Venus here in the ruling the 10th house in the 7th house. Now, that's only going to come though through your work with other people and how well you can work with other people. So really put your focus and attention on good collaborations, good connections, win-win situations, and keeping the balance and the harmony. And out of that, you will have career success. Equally, Venus rules the 5th house. So this can be really good for love and romance. As I said, it's like a deepening of that energy that I've already mentioned, where dating and, giving a present or receiving flowers or something just boosts your experience, So it's a great week, Capricorn, to plan that romantic getaway or to go on a spontaneous date, because 5th house is romance and dating. And also, even aside from romance, it's a good week for just getting back in touch with your childlike self with somebody else. So that could mean just connecting with maybe your husband or your wife or a really close friend or a sibling and doing something you used to love to do as a child, getting back to what gave you joy and happiness when you were younger with somebody else. Might have been a hit of tennis that really floated your boat when you were younger. And when I was a kid on the farm, my dad used to irrigate all our paddocks or fields, and when he did, my sister and I would get our Barbie dolls and we would run down to the channel and we'd have Barbie doll swimming races, and they'd run along, like we'd pop them in the channel, and as the water flowed down to go and water the paddocks, the Barbie dolls would race down the channel. I cannot tell you how much I would love to just do that again someday, but more's the pity, my parents have sold the family farm, so I think that's off the cards. But if you get the chance, tap back into your childhood joy from when you were young, if the opportunity avails itself. Now, Jupiter is also the lord of the 12th and the 3rd house, sitting this week in the 7th house and being amplified by this beautiful benefic energy. This means that, as I've just suggested, something from the past where you're connecting with somebody else can bring you joy. So I've just described a scenario that would have brought me joy if I could fulfill it. What about you? What is something you can do with another person that's harking back to the past, something you used to do, something you used to love, something you used to remember? There might even be some people from the past coming back into your life this week for good reasons. Also, Jupiter being the 3rd house lord indicates that maybe a conversation might be on the card with said people for you to discuss an issue that maybe needs to be laid to rest, or maybe work out some kind of a new scenario for your friendship or relationship or connection. But conversations are important to have with people who may come back into your life this week. And also, you may feel a bit like going on a sojourn or a short journey, a weekend getaway, a romantic one perhaps, with another person. And it's good to put that into action this week. This energy will bless you in doing so. There might even be some surprise outcome of benevolence if you do follow that energy. Now, my friends, if you would like a reading with me, places have now opened up for July. But they are filling fast, so if you would like to have a reading in person with me, head to the link in the description, and I can support you by looking at your chart and seeing what's going on with your life situation. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video to help us reach more people with the Astro Good News and to curb that pesky algorithm to help all the astrologers out there on YouTube.